Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdets NewsStand, and over the weekend we got some Zack Snyder plans for the Justice League sequel, illustrated by Jim Lee, and we also got some new trailers. I haven't talked about the new trailers, they're just basically snippets of what we've seen thus far until today. When we got, I believe it was kind of leaked, it was in some stream, and then somebody kind of screen capped it and sent it out. It had Deathstroke in it, it had a Joker in it, and it definitely had Darkseid in it. Well, I'm gonna let you judge that one for yourself. Now, am I saying I don't like the way it looks? No, not necessarily. I think Deathstroke looks really, really cool. I don't personally care for the way that Darkseid looks, but that's just me. I think it looks a little, I don't know, unfinished, I guess is the best way to put it. But regardless, I'm still going to be watching the movie. I know some people find that crazy that I'm going to be watching a movie that I don't think he does good with the characters on. Well, you know, it's okay. It's okay to think that it is great that Zack Snyder got his vision relived and fans got what they wanted. But this movie, what I'm going to talk about next, is a great indication as to why he was taken off of the projects. He was taken out of the DCEU. Now, honestly, there is no DCEU. There kind of is. They are leagues and leagues and leagues behind stuff like WandaVision or Marvel in general. They, I don't believe, will ever catch up. They've had a few successes, mostly Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and then they've had quite a few bombs. Now, I think that Suicide Squad will be good. I really do. But you know, they've got nothing compared to Marvel, and that's a shame. So that's why I'm excited to kind of watch this, because it's something. And that's really sad. Now, with the reboot and everything, I think it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. But what I want to talk about is this storyboard that were released that had parts 2 and 2A on it. It was basically going to be made into 2 films. What I hate about it, and I think we honestly dodged a massive bullet. I think that is exactly why he was fired. They need really a Kevin Feige type, someone that can play the long game, someone that can put Easter eggs into stuff that's not planned for 2 years and you go back and find it. Simple things like with WandaVision, in Doctor Strange, the Darkhold book area is missing. Well, that was how many years ago? You see what I'm saying? Stuff that can be planned out for the long run. And this was clearly not meant for a franchise that was supposed to last longer than 2 movies. And what I think is super lazy about all of these type of movies, and I'm not talking just the Justice League, but if you set up a whole world, a whole universe, a whole movie, a whole show, and then at the end, you're like, oh, just kidding. We're going to go back in time and change everything, and everything's going to be okay. So you just sat through 4 hours of movie or whatever it is, and it's all redone. It's lazy. It's not good writing. I don't like that, and I don't like the dream theory when it comes to stuff. And unfortunately, Zack Snyder is doing both of those in his movie that's coming out. The nightmare sequence isn't real. It's a dream. This is using time travel to have a movie and a half and then turn around and erase it all. Yeah, that's real. So first off, I want to talk about the obvious. The fact that they, in both versions, even when they go back in time, they cuck Superman. Yep. Yeah, Superman, and while he's recovering. Not when he's dead, or Lois thinks she's dead. While he's in recovery, Bruce and Lois get it on, and she becomes pregnant. Okay, that's what you want to do? Make Lois look just fucking terrible. That's awful. Why would you sleep with somebody's best friend, sleep with somebody's literal best friend, or, you get my point. While they were recovering. That's like sleeping with someone while your husband or wife is in the hospital. Like, okay, all right, Zach, whatever you say. So let's talk about these heroes' arcs. It begins and it says Superman. With help from Lois and back from the dead, Superman will learn to become Clark Kent again, feeling more human as he and Lois start a family, until he, realizes that he is not the father, and that is basically what makes him lose it altogether. Wonder Woman will reconnect with the Amazons and her mother, eventually becoming the queen and rejoining these isolationist warriors with the outside. Until Dr. Maru uses her gas, Dr. Poison, from the original movie, and gasses everyone and kills all of the Amazons. Oh, wait, but don't worry. Time travel is going to bring that back, so nothing really matters. Aquaman, with help of Mera, will bring the Seven Kingdoms together, becoming the one true king, putting a new alliance between the oceans and the surface. Until he dies and Mera, yes, Amber Heard, takes over as Aquaman. But that's okay, because that gets erased too, right? The Flash will free himself from the past, releasing his father from prison with Cyborg's help and learning how to master his time travel abilities. Literally being able to be in two places at once. Do you see the plot holes here? Do you? Anybody yet? Okay, so the Flash is the answer to everything. And if you remember in the original, I believe it was BVS, where they were like, Lois is the key, Lois is the answer. That's because she ends up being the answer in this long drawn out arc of insanity. Cyborg will evolve into a modern day god. No wonder he's so mad he didn't get anything out of this and ruined his career. With the digital agent into a human once again, Batman will ultimately, at the end, sacrifice his life for these unlikely friends and the woman he loves, leaving behind a legacy that will never truly die. Okay, so let's talk about the original plan here. Now, it is basically what happens in a nutshell, and I'm condensing it down to nothing to save your sanity. We see Bruce and Lois searching together for Lex, which makes no sense because it probably, more than likely, would be Bruce and Diana searching for Lex. It only makes sense. She's a warrior princess. Lois is a journalist. Yeah, I get it. She could have something to do with her job. But even so, it would make more sense. Lex starts recruiting a league of his own, right? So you have stuff like, as far as each individual character, he's going to go and find their counterpart. So you have the Flash and Captain Cold. You have Dr. Maru and Wonder Woman, right? You have Riddler and Batman. Get it? Orm and Aquaman. Like, okay. That would make sense. I like the idea of in Justice League. I do. I like the idea. It's been used, quite a bit, but I still like it. I still think it would work. We see Diana return to Themyscira, and it's overwhelming, and everything is great, and oh my God, she's gonna die. Yeah. Okay. So she's home. And then you see Barry at the hearing with his father, and thanks to Cyborg and Iris, and a bunch of lawyers from Bruce Wayne, the state finally examines the new evidence, and it's basically, his father gets set free. That's wonderful. Wonderful. And then we see Batman and Lois on the hunt for Lex Luthor. Now, they end up finding him in the Canadian wilderness, or they're in the deep Canadian wilderness. And we see Lex is presented with the anti-life equation, the riddle of life itself. Get it? Get it? That's super funny. Get it? Oh my God. And the Riddler solved it. Riddler solved the riddle to life itself, except for the anti-life equation isn't a riddle. And it's everyone's despair and Darkseid and terrible feelings like that. Ugh, you hate everything, right? Right? It's not the answer to life itself. It's exactly the opposite. Anyway, so the Riddler raises a gun, but points it at his own head. Because this is so Riddler. Time to solve the last riddle. Blam! He kills himself. Okay, so again, edgy to be edgy. And I don't mind some death, obviously. It's going to happen in these movies. But it's edgy to be edgy. So it makes no sense, right? So when Lex activates his plans, he activates the box, his true plan to destroy the Justice League with the anti-life equation, right? So Cyborg is the first one to feel this. And it's basically he feels data stopping. For the first time since he went online, Boom Tube erupts in front of Lex, surprising him, and it's Darkseid, which is awesome. They use, like just a teeny tiny bit of Jack Kirby stuff from the Fourth World, and I like that. But if you're going to include Darkseid, you gotta bring in a little bit more than Darkseid and Granny. I get that. Well, Steppenwolf. I get that's all you know, probably, but I'm just saying. And then you see Superman and Darkseid in the Batcave, right? You see Batman and Lois there also, and Superman tells Batman, "She's my world. Protect her." Superman flies off to confront Darkseid, but because of this, Lois tells Batman, "Right, I'm pregnant, but you're not the father." She's lying. Spoiler warning. And Superman basically gets taken over by Darkseid. So, Superman and Darkseid being together, what do you think that means? The Justice League is under attack. Yeah. So, before Lois has a chance to warn anybody, on Themyscira, Dr. Mara unleashes her chemical gas. That is the end of Wonder Woman. She's dead, and all the Amazons, every single one of them. On Atlantis, Orm and Black Manta attack in coordination, killing Arthur. Mara then will take over his spot, right? Batman watches in horror as Darkseid takes full control of Superman. Superman turns on Batman, and he actually escapes, right? Because, you couldn't escape from Orm and Black Manta, but you could escape from a dark-sided Superman. All right. Lex believes he's won. He's face to face with Superman. And he dies. He lights him on fire. Ooh, that's rough. So it cuts to 5 years later, right? And you go to this post-apocalyptic thing. Green Lantern comes to Earth. His ship crashes. He is there to get his, where have you been for like 6 years when all this stuff happened? But now he's here. It's better late than never, I guess. He's looking for his partner who's presumed dead. They're joined by the Flash. And this was where the whole like Lois is the key thing, right? So they basically regroup, but it's not the same group. It's Batman, Deadshot. I thought that was pretty cool. I'll give him to that. Flash and the Lantern, right? They're all at Wayne Manor, and Mira joins them. I don't know why I combine words sometimes. And her biggest bitch is getting drinking water. Okay, sounds like it. So, basically, you see this whole Cyborg telling Lantern how time travel works. It's very uncontrollable, right? So you can only do it once a year. So you have to kind of understand that it has to be done precisely, and Barry has to do it perfectly. Okay, all right, well, that's what's going to happen. They have to go on a mission. The mission starts at dawn. It's a Fury Road-inspired Batmobile, right? With Batman, Mira, Deadshot, and Green Lantern. They want Barry out of it because he's too important. He's the only one that can time travel. Okay, so Superman pursues them, and they face off against him. Deadshot fires kryptonite bullet from the back. Superman dodges it. Mira removes the water from Superman. He crushes her. Oh, that would have been a great scene. Oh, now I want it to happen just for that scene. Anyway, so Green Lantern flies at him. He kills him too. He kills Cyborg. The only one left is Batman and Flash, right? Flash is running on them. I'm assuming they're using the treadmill. Okay, so Batman's facing off, and the whole thing, he goes back in time. Right there. That's it. We don't see if, Batman lives or dies. He goes back in time. Okay, so this is where it starts back where she is having the conversation of, you're not the father. And Flash says, yes, you are. She lied to you. Okay. All right. And then he gets a chance to listen and actually be warned by Lois. And because this, Bruce springs into action, right? And he breaks the glass, throwing himself in front of Darkseid. He gets hit by Omega beams. He survives. But now, because Superman sees Batman injured, he flies into a rage. Instead of being broken down by Lois, cooking him. Now he's empowered, angry. You'd think he'd be angry before. I guess so. Superman and Darkseid go at each other. Lois tells Superman all about Lex, so you're able to save Wonder Woman and all of the Amazons, right? And then we see basically the Earth uniting against Darkseid. All right, I can see this now. The entire DC universe is put together. Everybody, on a scale that's never been seen. It's because DC movies suck, let's be real. During this time, you see Hippolytus die. You see her die. And you see Flash move. You see Cyborg able to overpower the Mother Box. Ultimately, Batman sacrifices himself to save the League and the world, destroying Darkseid. Now, during the aftermath, we see Diana become the Queen of the Amazons. Cyborg evolves, becoming the god of the digital age. Lois mourns Bruce's death. Superman realizes that she's carrying Bruce and Lois's, love child. Lois admits it. He already knows. And basically, he embraces the unborn child. And now, because of that unborn child and Bruce's sacrifice, he has a reason to be Clark again. So we go 20 years later, almost done, hang in there. 20 years later, we see a memorial for Batman. Barbara Gordon is the commissioner and says, what are you going to tell him? Talking to Lois. Now, this is his son. We see in Gotham is having, rising crime levels again. They need a Batman. So in Gotham, rising from the shadows, out of the moonlight, we meet the all-new Batman. Dun, 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 it's over! You realize this is good in theory, or decent. It's a 5 in theory. The problem is, people like Iron Man, people like Captain America, if you're comparing, apples to Marvel-flavored apples, you have to play the long game. You have to expect these characters to last bare minimum 10 years. Push it more to 15. You have to be able to have these characters last multiple movies. I'm talking 4, 5, 6, 7. Not 2, buddy. Not 2. We dodged a bullet. Now, do I think the reboot's going to be any better? No. And I actually think at this point, I don't care. After what they did to Cyclone, I love me some Cyclone, and that broke my heart. I have no interest in their movies. I have 80 years worth of comic books I read. I have graphic novel after graphic novel. I have deep dives like the Batman Files or Batman and Psychology, Super Gods. Would I like to see something great? Yeah. Do I think Warner Brothers can ever pull it off? No. Not really. Not anymore. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think about either the new trailer or this whole grand scheme of plan. Let me know if you think Zack Snyder could have pulled it off and it would have been great. I would gladly love to know in the comments why below. Again, I'm going to reiterate this for all the crazies in the comments. I have nothing against Zack Snyder. He's a good director. He doesn't know these characters clearly at all. Anyways, let me know, of course, what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.